So let's talk about crypto investment. If you are from second world or third world country, or even if you are from India, this video is for them. And I will basically try to answer 2 or 3 questions about why Indians are so fearful in regards to investing in crypto. And second, why you should invest in crypto. The first thing that comes to my mind regarding is the first question, that why are a lot of people in India are fearful of crypto. And the main reason for that is because we have a 30% flat tax on crypto with some 1% TDS, which we have to pay on every transaction. So that's the most biggest or entry barrier that we are facing in crypto investment or crypto trading in India. The second biggest factor is that in previous cycle there was a lot of scams, as well as a lot of crypto exchanges going bankrupt, as well as doing some shady businesses in the background. So there is a lot of fear buildup in the system as well, and a lot of people think that it's a big gambling den where they don't want to enter. But here I don't want to get too pessimistic about the situation in India, and look at the other side of the coin. A lot of, like, what are the opportunities that crypto markets is giving out to the world, and as an Indian, why should you capitalize on it? So let's try to understand like why you should invest in crypto. The first main reason is that crypto is a very volatile space, so you can make high returns and high losses. So you have to go in with some expectations. So if you are expecting a high return, you should expect higher risk as well. That's the first thing. The second thing is, like, crypto is just not an isolated environment right now. It's more of a proxy to US or global, mostly US stock markets. And if you go back and analyze the charts of crypto as a whole and software, US software sector ETFs as a whole, you can see one-to-one correlation with higher alpha or higher returns in crypto. So there is a real correlation or proxy play that is happening between these two asset class, and we can actually capitalize on it. How so? Because as an Indian, it's very difficult to invest in global companies like Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft. So it's very difficult for us to go and invest in US stocks. But what we can do is there is a middle ground that we can invest small part of our portfolio in crypto, because a lot of crypto is mostly tracking what is happening in the US stock markets, in the software and IT sector. So this acts as a proxy play. So if you don't want to go and buy US stocks, you can put your small amount of investment in crypto and you can get exposure to US global markets. The third question that I want to cover is why an Indian should go and explore the global investment opportunities rather than just looking investment opportunities within India. And there are a couple of reasons behind that. The first main reason is the Indian currency is depreciating at a very fast pace compared to dollar. And this is predominantly because of the war that is going on in the Middle East and the supply chain constraint of crude oil that is happening within the Strait of Hormuz. Due to that, we have a lot of inflation in the currency, depreciation in the currency, as well as inflation in the Indian economy due to high prices of crude oil. And with this kind of situation happens, we have double type of inflation. And due to this, we can see a dual type of inflation, which is just eroding our savings or investments if you just keep it in inside India, or if you are just investing in companies within India. And that's the first reason that you should try to explore opportunities other than India. The second main reason you should try to look for opportunities outside India is that FIs are institutional investors are moving out of Indian markets, because right now we don't have a strong AI narrative building up in India. If you look at US, if you look at China, they have their own infrastructure for AI. They have their top companies which are fighting in AI in head to head, whereas India doesn't have infrastructure in first place. We don't have companies that provide us infrastructure. On top of that, it's very difficult for us to compete in the global markets. So basically, foreign investors are moving out of the market, looking at the old narrative play of AI that is happening throughout the world. And third important reason that nobody's talking about is the impact of COVID, that everybody thinks has gone, but actually is still embedded in the system in the form of inflation. Because according to US data, From 2008 to 2026, the dollar has depreciated 50%. So there is 50% inflation in dollar value, and 20% of that inflation just comes from the COVID event that happened. So you can understand that during COVID, the US markets put a lot of liquidity into the market, inflating their dollar prices. And this money just flowed into Indian markets, second world countries and third world countries, inflating their prices as well. So what the rallies that we saw in Indian markets are just basically fueled by the money coming from foreign investors. And if they start taking out the money, we'll basically see slow grind down in Indian market, which is very damaging to your portfolio if you are just an Indian investors investing regularly in the Nifty or Sensex. So basically you are just losing a lot of money by just exposing yourself to Indian economy, which is completely vulnerable right now. And the last point I want to cover is crypto is changing. Crypto is changing in such a way there is different narratives now. Tokenization is coming into play. Tokenization is basically digitalization of assets, bonds, ETFs, real estate into digital currencies, which can be transacted throughout the world without any boundary restrictions. So, believe me or not, tokenization is coming, and this will be happening mostly on blockchain related technology. So, anyone in the world, anyone in India, sitting in India, can buy ETFs or assets in USA if we buy a portion of those digitalized tokens. So, such kind of technology is coming into financial markets. And when such kind of technology comes into financial markets, there is always regulations combined with it. Now we see like US is moving into a crypto clarity act where they are trying to pass a legalized framework to manage tokenized assets, crypto as a whole. So there is regulation coming from crypto via US. And there is always a pattern that once US legalize something, there is an outflow of those knowledge or those tax codes into other different countries, and the other countries also try to adapt based upon what US is trying to achieve. So I believe that in like next 4 to 5 years we will see that Indian government will also try to structurize the tax system for crypto. Maybe they'll build some legal system to protect investors from like scams and what is currently happening in the Indian markets. A lot of scams and a lot of illegal activities in the crypto exchanges. So basically, they will legalize the system for good use of those technology. Because currently, a lot of crypto related technology development is moving out of India because there is no proper legal framework. Once US gets a legal framework going on, India will also try to get on that bandwagon and will try to optimize their tax returns from crypto related activities. So you don't have to be fearful all the time. I think there is bright future for crypto going forward. And the investment opportunity only lies in uncertain periods. So right now there is uncertainty, you can buy it at low prices. But once the tax laws and the everything has passed, you cannot expect to get crypto at cheaper prices. At that time it's already late. So you have to standardize, or you have to structurize your thinking and investment decisions right now when there is a lot of uncertainties, because you only make irrational returns during uncertain period and uncertain decision making. You have to manage your risk accordingly. So let me know in the comments below, do you believe in crypto, or do you believe that crypto has some kind of future in India as well and the government will try to legalize those? And if you think the same or if you think the different, let me know in the comments below. See you later.